I got an order for 23 trucker hats for a wedding. Each one has a different design or different text on each one. They needed this in a rush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use heat transfer vinyl to print these. Let me show you the process and how I make these hats and how I'm able to get them out pretty fast. I have my 12 by 12 cutting mat and I have a 12 by 15 sheet. I'm just going to put this sheet right onto the cutting mat. I'm not going to trim it or anything till after this comes out of my vinyl cutter. So I'm just going to line this up and then hit that load button. And this is going to take 2 of these sheets and then a little bit extra. So I'm just going to load this and start cutting. Back on my computer, I have this first sheet set up in my vinyl cutting software for Silhouette Studio. Make sure that I have the right materials. I'm going to hit send and it's just going to send it via Bluetooth over to the cutter. The blade is going to set itself to the right depth and then it's going to start cutting. The cutting of the vinyl is probably the slowest part of the entire process here. Once it's done, you hit the unload and you're ready for the next sheet. While the next sheet is cutting, that's the time that I'll be weeding the vinyl and it kind of helps speed things up. This is what the final sheet of designs looks like. And I noticed there was a couple of designs that I needed to correct things on before I go ahead and do the final hats. My blank hats just got delivered a little while ago with the vinyl weeded and ready to go. We'll start working on knocking out these hats and they shouldn't take very long at all. I like to make sure everything is in order before I start going ahead and pressing everything. So we'll just jump right to it and we'll see how long it takes. I could have done this job with DTF prints and it would have saved me some time on the cutting the vinyl and the weeding it. But the problem was this was a rush order. And then the second thing for me personally is I find it easier to work with heat transfer vinyl on these trucker hats. So that's why I choose to go with the heat transfer vinyl on jobs like this. But sometimes I will use the DTF transfers. Pressing the hats took about 24 minutes total for 23 hats. I didn't keep really good track of the time it took to set up the designs and to cut and weed the vinyl. But I would say it was about an hour to an hour and a half for that. So you're looking at 1.5 to 2 hours total time, start to finish, for these 23 hats.